All right, everybody, for today's DIY, we're going to need a box of these tumbling tower blocks, some craft sticks, and one of these cork sheets. And as always, if you don't have what I'm showing that I use, I'm going to give alternatives, or you can use what you have. You'll need a dry erase board or one of these chopping mats. That all this stuff is from the Dollar Tree, so if you can't find it anywhere else, Dollar Tree does have it. You're going to need a chalkboard or chalkboard paint if you have that. You're going to need Gorilla Glue or some regular glue, piece of foam board, and that's going to be the backing for our whole thing here. You're going to need some felt or some fabric, a cute jar, some of this cork ribbon that they have at Dollar Tree. And if you don't have a jar, one of these, a basket will be fine. And then kind of a bonus, these trays are something that I made in a previous DIY, and I'll show you how to make that. So first, to start, you're going to measure out a piece of foam board that fits the cork sheet and the chalkboard and the dry erase board. And I'm sorry for my camera. I don't know what it was doing. It was like auto-focusing. But I also tried this foam board adhesive stuff that they had in the craft section at the Dollar Tree. So hopefully it'll work. We'll see. I tried to even out this foam board as much as I could. So what I did was I chose foam board because the cork sheet is really, really thin. So with the foam board, it'll add just enough of the, thickness so that you can actually put tacks in it. So you're going to tape down the cork sheet. Then you're going to get a chalkboard, measure that, making sure it fits in there. Then you're going to have to cut off the little handle to the dry erase board. Obviously, because you don't want the cork board, the little handle sticking out. So I tried using my scissors, but because it was so close, it was too hard. So I just took my X-Acto knife and just kind of cut it on both sides until it came out. If you don't have or you can't find these dry erase boards, or they don't have them at your Dollar Tree, those chopping mats work great as dry erase boards. And because you're using a foam board as the background, um, it'll work great. So here I measured out a piece. What you're going to do is you're going to cut out the piece to fit, wherever you need it to fit. And you're going to make sure you glue that you make sure the shiny part is up, facing up. And then that's going to work just like a dry erase board, so just make sure you measure it. It fits wherever you want it to go. And I think I'm going to show you now that it works as a dry erase board. And like I said, it works perfectly. So you write on it, erases, doesn't leave residue or anything. But since I had the dry erase board, I'm going to go ahead and use it. But I've used those chopping mats before, so that's always an alternative. So I'm using this foam adhesive glue that I found. I've never used it before, like I said. So hopefully it works great. If not, I will let you know. And I just put some hot glue just to kind of give it that quick bond, because I don't know how long that adhesive takes to dry. So I didn't want to take any chances. So I went ahead and added some hot glue. And I don't generally use these tumbling tower blocks for DIYs, just because I feel like it's just so much easier to just go buy, a piece of wood from Lowe's or Menards or wherever. But I had them, and I know a lot of people like to use them, or a lot of people have them. So I just went ahead and used them. So for the top, I believe, yeah, for the top, I used 8 across. Now, these tumbling blocks are sometimes not the right shape or size or the same size. So it can vary, it can vary how many you're going to use. And then it depends on how big you want your little, I guess this is a command center. So all I did was I took some hot glue and I glued these 8 pieces together, and I did the same thing all the way around. And I used hot glue just because, you know, I don't know if I'm going to keep this together or not. And I may replace the pieces, um, these tumbling blocks. I'm sorry, I was drawing a blank. These tumbling blocks, I may replace them with just solid pieces because it was kind of uneven. They didn't really make a straight line when I glued them together. It was kind of, I don't know, it was just uneven. And so, if you take the time to kind of measure them out and make sure that everything's even, then you should be fine. But mine, every time I use them, they just never seem to work out right. So I will probably end up using like a piece of wood or something. So I went ahead and I glued all those off. See how it's like kind of crooked there? I just couldn't get it straight. I had glued it and unglued it and tried again and used different blocks and it just wasn't working. So I just went with it and left it like that. But like I said, you can use whatever you want. If you're good with it, then I was fine with it. So I went ahead and I hot glued the pieces along the side to make the border. And again, if you want to use wood glue or some other type of glue, go right ahead. Would this I use Gorilla Glue hot glue gun sticks and I love them. They work. This stuff will last forever, so I'm not worried about it. So I just went ahead and if you see, I had to glue, one side to go all the way down. I don't know, if you just look at it, you can't just do like 8 on top and 8 on the bottom and then glue them the same way on both sides because they just don't fit. Excuse me. So, you have to kind of play with it, move things around, figure out how they work for your tumbling blocks or whatever you're going to use. And I put hot glue on the blocks and on the board just to make sure that I had all the, the edges covered. But see, this one and the bottom one, just, they were crooked. I couldn't get them to get straight no matter what I did. And so, like I said, that's why I don't use these blocks too often. So today's video is in collaboration with the domestic Diva, and you need to definitely check out her channel. She's got some great DIYs, awesome ideas. She does, thrift flips, she does trash to treasures. She does all kind of stuff on her channel, so you definitely want to check her out. I will list I will list the playlist or put the playlist in the description box below, and a link to her channel will be there too. So you definitely want to check out the playlist and check out her channel because, like I said, she's got some great ideas. And, she posts weekly. She does different collaborations and challenges. So there's always something fresh and new coming on her channel. So definitely check her out. And I'm excited to be a part of this collaboration. So be sure to check her out, subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. And, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you're new here, welcome and thank you for watching. And if you came over from her channel, thank you for stopping by. And I hope that you stick around and subscribe and like this video. And I'm just cleaning up the glue right now. Sometimes hot glue kind of gets all over the place, so I'm just cleaning that up. Then I'm going to take the craft sticks and I'm going to measure I guess kind of a border in the middle, kind of a border for the cork board and a border for both the chalkboard and the dry erase board. I was going to use the blocks, but they were just not lining up and I didn't feel like having to cut some blocks or anything like that, so I just used the craft sticks. Now, I did not paint any of this because I kind of like the raw wood of it. I like the light wood and I just kind of like the way it looked, just kind of, I don't know. I just like the way that it looked. Like I said, I was going to paint it, but I really kind of like the way that this light wood looked on this particular DIY. Usually I paint it or stain it or something, but I really did just like the way that it looked. So I left it like that. And I mean, obviously, if you want to paint it or stain it, you can do that. I know a lot of the blocks now have the dark and the light wood pieces. So if you want to kind of add those in there, make one side dark, one side light, alternate them, the dark wood and the light wood. Paint them, like I said, you can do whatever you want, however you like it. I just kind of like the way that this light wood looked, so I left it like that. I ran out of glue, so I had to add some glue to my glue gun. All right, so yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm gluing these on, and again, I just used hot glue. You can use wood glue or E6000 or combinations or whatever, but this hot glue is amazing. I'm telling you, I use this Gorilla Glue for everything, and it works out fine. And that's pretty much it. I just added some push pins to this, and it worked out fine. I don't know if I recorded it or not, but I did just get a piece of not jute twine, but rope, nautical rope, and I added it to the back to hang it. So I don't remember if I recorded that or not, but I mean, that's just kind of a self-explanatory. I didn't mind the foam board in the back just kind of showing. It didn't bother me. You can't really see it anyway when you hang it up, so it didn't bother me at all. I was just cleaning up the glue, making sure that was straight. And then I'm going to move on to the next DIY. And all these DIYs are pretty simple. I didn't do anything spectacular. They're all pretty simple things that you can kind of, do at home. I don't know what I'm doing here right now, actually. Oh, yes, I do. Sorry. So I'm making erasers right now. So you're going to take your felt or your cloth or a piece of a sponge or, I mean, anything soft pretty much that you can use as an eraser. Just go ahead and get a piece of it. One of my scissors was messed up. I think one of my kids got a hold of them, and who knows what they did with them. But I just took a piece of felt. I didn't measure it. I just kind of cut it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put some hot glue on one of the tumbling blocks, glue the edge to it, and just start wrapping it around the tumbling block, and you have an eraser. So I made two. I might have made two, maybe three. And just add some more hot glue there and call it a day. And so you've got yourself an eraser for your either dry erase board or your chalkboard. Either one or both. But I did two so that I had one for my chalkboard and one for my dry erase board. Another way you can do it is roll up the fabric and then hot glue it to the tumbling block, so then it kind of looks like an actual eraser. And you want to hot glue the fabric together. I don't know why I didn't do that, but you just roll it up and then hot glue the fabric together and then glue it onto the tumbling block. And you've got yourself a little eraser. I thought they were adorable. They look like little, like the little school erasers. That's what they reminded me of. So, ta-da! There's your erasers. So now we're going to move on to the next DIY. And like I said, I did attach some rope to the back of that to hang it up. So this is a really, really simple one. I just took a jar, took that corkboard ribbon and hot glued it onto there. And this is what I used as like a pencil holder or a pen holder, or you can use it to put the the chalk and the dry erase board. What did I do here? I don't know what just happened there, but I guess my video repeated again. Or did I record differently? I don't remember. I'm sorry about that. But there goes my video editing skills at their finest there. So I just took some hot glue, wrapped that ribbon around there, and I think I added a couple more dots of hot glue just to make sure that it didn't move around. Oh, I guess I added a lot of hot glue to it so it wouldn't move around. And I just thought it'd be cute. It matches the cork board. And like I said, it's just a little pen holder. And you can either put your markers in there and your chalk, your scissors. You can use it for whatever you want. You can even, put anything. You can put anything in there. I just grabbed all the little pens and markers I had sitting around and I put them in there. And then if you don't have one of the, have the ribbon or the jar, you can just get a little basket and put it in. So this was a DIY that I did a few years ago, and you just need one of these wood trays that you find in the crafter square, and you have to make sure it's the ones that are flat. Then you just get, altogether you're going to need, 8 tumbling blocks, and you glue 2 of them together, and you make the legs for the tier trays, and you just put them on each corner and then place the 2 trays on top of each other, and you can add little blocks as legs, or you can just leave it as is. All right, be the reason someone smiles. Thanks for watching. Bye.